In this class we are going to discuss about the equilibrium of the charges. So how can two charges separated by a small distance be in equilibrium? So what happens when we place a third charge in between these two charges? At what positions of the third charge can it be in equilibrium, and also the system as a whole will be in equilibrium? These are the things that we are going to inspect today. So let us now consider two charges. Say both of them are positive. So here I place a charge, say plus Q, and here I place another charge plus Q. Now I am going to place a third charge, small q, somewhere on the line joining these two charges. Let me place it at the midpoint. Now you see this charge will be repelled by both the charges with forces of equal magnitude. So this small q will be repelled by the plus q placed at, let us call this point as A and this as B. So this small q will be repelled by the charge plus q towards the right with the force F, and the same charge small q will be repelled by the charge plus q placed at B with a force of the same magnitude F but in the opposite direction. So you see that the net force on the small q is 0 and the condition for the equilibrium is satisfied. The lines of action of the two forces are the same, so there is no possibility of the formation of any torque here. So the system is this middle charge is in equilibrium. So the same situation will prevail if I replace these two plus q charges with the two minus q charges. Even if the two charges placed at A and B are negative, the situation will be the same. Now if you place a charge minus q at the midpoint instead of the charge plus q, then also the situation will be the same. The only difference is that this time this negative charge will be attracted by the end charges with forces of equal magnitude. So whether you place a negative charge here or a positive charge here, as long as the two end charges are equal and similar, the middle charge will be in equilibrium. So condition for the equilibrium of the middle charge is end charges should be equal and similar. End charges should be equal and similar. That is the condition for equilibrium of the middle charge. So let me repeat, the middle charge will be in equilibrium whatever be its nature, provided the end charges are equal and similar. Okay. Now let us inspect the kind of equilibrium possessed by this middle charge. You know that equilibrium means net force 0. That is for translational equilibrium. For rotational equilibrium, the net torque should be 0. Here the lines of action of the forces are the same. So there is no case of any torque being generated. So let us now consider the translational equilibrium. You know that equilibrium is of three types. What are they? They are stable, number 2 unstable, and the third one is neutral. So there are three different types of equilibria: stable, unstable, neutral. Now I want to see what kind of the equilibrium is possessed by the middle charge. So let us start with the two positive charges here and another positive charge placed at the midpoint of the line joining the two. So we have seen that the middle charge will be in equilibrium whatever be its nature, provided the end charges are equal and similar. So these two charges placed at A and B are equal and similar. So the middle charge placed at C will be in equilibrium. Now in order to check the type of equilibrium possessed by this charge, whether it is stable or unstable, we have to displace this charge slightly from the present equilibrium position. So what I am going to do is I will displace this charge slightly to the right, so that now it is at the point D. Now once I displace this charge slightly to D, I find that the repulsion due to the charge at B on this Q will increase. When I displace this charge slightly from C to D, the distance between these two charges decreases. The distance between these two decreases. So the repulsion will increase. Whereas the distance between these two increases, so the repulsion will decrease. So now this charge Q is repelled with a greater force by the charge at B and repelled with a smaller force with the charge at A, which means that the net force on D is now towards the left. He is now repelled with a greater force by the charge at B. At the same time, the repulsive force due to the charge at A decreases, and therefore the net force on the charge Q, which is now at D, is towards the left. Now we have displaced the charge towards the right from C to D. The net force is towards the left. So the displacement and net force are in oppositely directed. Therefore, this is a kind of stable equilibrium. So this charge is now in a position of stable equilibrium. If you displace this charge parallel to the line joining the other two charges, it will be in a state of stable equilibrium. So remember this, if the three charges are similar, if all of them are either positive or negative, the middle charge will be in equilibrium for displacements parallel to the line joining the two charges. Now let us see what happens if I displace it on the perpendicular bisector, along the perpendicular bisector. So I am going to displace it along the perpendicular bisector. So see, this is your perpendicular bisector. Now I am going to displace the charge. This is our A, this is B, and this is plus Q. This is also plus Q, and this is our small q. Now I have displaced it along this line. This is C and this is D. So I have displaced this along CD. Now let us see what happens here. This charge, now I will erase this part so that we will get some space to work with. Okay, now let me join this line. Similarly, I joined these two points. So now you see that the force on the charge placed at D, which is small q, is directed along this line AD, and the force on the same charge due to the charge at B is along BD. See, so the resultant force, net force, is along this line. So you see that when I displace this small q along the line, along the perpendicular bisector, the net force on that charge is again in the same direction as that of the displacement. So the displacement and the net force are in the same direction, which means that this is now in a position of unstable equilibrium. Now the equilibrium is unstable. So for displacements perpendicular to the line joining these two charges, the equilibrium is unstable. Previously we have seen that for all displacements parallel to the line joining the two charges, the middle charge was in stable equilibrium. Now we find that for displacements perpendicular to the line joining the two charges, the middle charge is in unstable equilibrium. Now let us see what happens in the case of my negative charge placed at the midpoint. Now let us place a negative charge at the midpoint and see what happens. This is A, you have plus q here. This is B, you have another plus q here. And this is C, where you have minus q now. So you know that the charge will minus q will be in equilibrium because the end charges are equal and similar. As long as the end charges are equal and similar, the middle charge will be in equilibrium. So now we want to see what kind of an equilibrium is possessed by this minus q charge at C. I told you, in order to check the type of equilibrium possessed by the middle charge, you have to displace it. Now let me displace it slightly to the right, as we have done in the other case, towards D. Then you see the attraction between these two will increase. This is now attracted with a greater force towards B, and this is now attracted with a lesser force towards A. So the attraction between A and D, and A means plus q and minus q placed at A and C, now at D. Those attraction between plus q and minus q placed at A and D will decrease, and the attraction between plus q and minus q placed at B and D will increase. So this charge has a tendency to go towards B. So displacement is towards the right, net force is also towards the right, so it is in a kind of unstable equilibrium for displacements parallel to the line joining the two charges. In the other case, we saw that for displacements parallel to the line joining the two charges, the middle charge was in stable equilibrium. Now we see that it is in unstable equilibrium. So let us check what happens if I displace it along the perpendicular bisector. This is plus q at A, this is plus q at B, and I am going to displace it along this line. This is minus q placed at C. So this is the force, this is the line along which the force acts, and this is the other line, the line along which the other force acts. Now this force is towards A and this force is towards B because it's basically an attractive force. So now this was the direction of our displacement, and the net force, which is the resultant of these two forces, let us call them F and F, and the resultant is along this line, along the same line in which I had displaced minus q from the midpoint, but in the opposite direction. So now you find that the net force is opposite to the direction of the displacement. So here our charge minus q is in a state of stable equilibrium. Previously it was in a state of unstable equilibrium. This is a state of unstable equilibrium, whereas for displacements perpendicular to the line joining the charges, the middle charge is in a state of stable equilibrium. So if the middle charge is not similar, then for displacements parallel to the line joining the charges, it is in unstable equilibrium, and for displacements perpendicular to the line joining the two charges along the equatorial line, it will be in a case of stable equilibrium. Clear? Okay, now let us look at the equilibrium of the system. Equilibrium of the system means all the three charges should be in equilibrium. So far we have discussed the equilibrium of the middle charge only. Now let us see how the n charges can be brought into a state of equilibrium. See this. If we have three charges, this is q, and this is q. Now let us assume that the distance between these two charges is original separation is 2d. This is A, as we have seen earlier. This is A, B and C. Now for this charge, let us look at this. We have already discussed the equilibrium of the charge small q at C. Now let us get hold of this one, this q. For the equilibrium of this charge, the condition is, what should be the condition? The force on this charge q due to the other charge q at A should be equal in magnitude and opposite in direction to the force on the same charge due to the middle charge placed at C. If this one is repelled by this one with the force, then that should be attracted by the middle one with the force of the same magnitude. Otherwise, if this one B, q at B is attracted by the charge q at A with the force, then that q at B should be repelled by the charge small q at C with the force of the same magnitude. Then only he can remain in equilibrium, so that net force on him is 0. So let us see what the condition are. So let us first calculate the force between the charges q and q placed at A and B. So it is F1, this is equal to k into q square by 2d the whole square, which is 4d square. Now let us calculate the force on the same charge q at B due to the charge small q at C. It is k into q by d square. Now we have seen that these two forces should be equal in magnitude and opposite in sign. So F1 should be equal to minus F2, which means that k into q square by 4d square should be equal to minus k into q by d square. Simplify this, you will get q equal to minus q by 4. So that is the condition for the equilibrium of the n charge. This is the condition for the equilibrium of the n charge. So we have now the equilibrium conditions for the equilibrium of the system. For the equilibrium of the middle charge, the two n charges should be equal and similar, and for the equilibrium of the n charge, the middle charge should be equal to minus q by 4, where q is one of the n charges.